It's for the best that William Shatner didn't appear as Captain James T. Kirk in J.J. Abrams' Star Trek movie. 15 years ago, J.J. Abrams' 2009 reboot rejuvenated the Star Trek movie franchise after the poor performance of both Star Trek, Insurrection and Star Trek, Nemesis. Boldly deciding to recast the Star Trek, the original series characters and set the movie in an alternate timeline, J.J. Abrams' Star Trek movie was able to have the best of both worlds, 40-year-old cultural icons placed in a modern action-packed blockbuster. To pass the torch between the Star Trek, the original series crew and their modern counterparts, Leonard Nimoy was cast as an older Ambassador Spock, a mentor figure to both the young James T. Kirk, Chris Pine, and Spock, Zachary Quinto. However, early versions of the Star Trek script also featured a cameo by William Shatner as Captain Kirk, appearing as a recording in the movie's closing scenes. J.J. Abrams, Roberto Orci and Alex Kurtzman eventually decided to cut the scene, which may be disappointing to fans, but it also improved the ending of Star Trek 2009, as a result. William Shatner's scene in J.J. Abrams' Star Trek explained. "I miss you, old friend." William Shatner looking out of frame in You Can Call Me Bill. A few months after the release of Star Trek in 2009, Alex Kurtzman and Roberto Orci revealed that they had written a scene for William Shatner, via Trek movie. In the scene, Prime Spock presents his Kelvin timeline counterpart with a pendant that turns out to be a hollow emitter, containing a message from William Shatner's Kirk. It's revealed that the pendant was a birthday message from Kirk to Spock in which he reflects on their friendship, and reveals his desire to live out his retirement with his best friend. William Shatner's voiceover would then continue over the scenes of Chris Pine's Kirk being honored by Starfleet Command for defeating Nero, Eric Bana. As Prime Kirk reflects on when he and Spock stepped onto the Enterprise as boys, Kelvin Kirk accepts command of the Kelvin Timeline's version of the Starship Enterprise. Touchingly, Prime Kirk acknowledges the Kelvin Timeline crew by saying that it's their time now. However, it's also clear that the spirit of adventure is still alive in this older Captain Kirk, who closes the scene by saying, Shatner's Kirk cameo would have undermined Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto. While the scene as written is a touching little coda, acting as a melancholy farewell between the Prime Timeline's Kirk and Spock, it does undermine Star Trek's new leads. When handing his Kelvin Timeline counterpart the pendant, Prime Spock says that it's a dream that the young Kirk and Spock can now fulfill. The implication being that the Kelvin Timeline's Kirk and Spock are only friends because of an obligation to mirror their Prime Timeline counterparts. This robs Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto's Star Trek characters of their agency, reducing them to performing hollow William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy tribute acts.